First things first, Declan. How are you?
First things first on the realist. Yeah, good. I'm doing well. It's a nice day. In wherever we are, Pink Pop. Yeah, having a good time.
Very good. So, with festivals like these, because you've played all over, is the approach different?
Yes and no. It's all the same sort of thing. It's all just kind of no one really knows what they're doing, and you just kind of go around, try and find some food, and then you have like 20 minutes to set up and you play a show. That's kind of the basis of most festivals, other than like some random really fancy ones in Paris or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of weird that the universal like the experience of festivals is quite universal, like depending on which countries you're in, but you know, obviously some are better than others, but yeah, I'm liking this one.
Okay, but so in the sense of kind of, because obviously when you do your own shows, people come to see you.
Yeah.
So do you think about how to kind of capture people's
Of course, I think you've got a little bit more control over your own shows in terms of like your set list and stuff, because people are there to hear the songs, whereas if you're here, for example, in Holland, like the song we sort of we play most of the radio is Isambard, and we noticed like last time we started the set with that, and then kind of a bunch of people left because that was all they were there to see. So it's like when you're at a festival, you kind of have to consider like, right, are people gonna stay if we play this song? It's kind of weird. Whereas if you're playing your own show, people just want to hear all the songs because they know them all. So it's kind of a different environment. But yeah, it's cool.
But that's interesting, because a song like Isambard, and I suppose you don't, but while you're writing it, do you think about how it will go over on certain occasions?
Yes and no. I think the main thing is just writing good songs like that you like to listen to, and then the live comes after. But I do, more recently I've thought about like, oh, this would be really cool if we did this because it would sound cool live, or we could do, you know, different things with lights and different things with videos or whatever, and because you know, all that sort of art can kind of be one thing and be as good as each other and kind of make something even better by being special live, by being special in a video, by whatever. So it's all kind of, you know, it's not just the song that makes it special, but I try and at least make it, you know, as much about just like if you had sat there with an acoustic guitar and you just played the song, right, it would still be good. And yeah.
So what mindset are you in at the moment? Because festival seasons are starting, but then you also are working on your debut album.
It's very hectic at the minute. I think this is the last day on this tour, and then we're like flying out to Japan for a bit. Okay. So it's just like we're doing, yeah, loads of stuff all at once, really, which is, it kind of puts you into just a very hazy, hectic mindset, but you kind of just have to go with it and try and get stuff done and not like muck about too much, because you can find yourself wasting a lot of time and procrastinating when you actually find yourself with things to do. But you know, I'm really enjoying it at the minute, and you know, I think I'm having a really good time with whatever it is I'm doing at the minute. So yeah.
And so how far along? Yeah. So how far along are you now on the album?
Well, it's finished. It's coming out in July.
Okay, it's completely done.
Yeah, it's done. I've been kind of started working on a second album now. Like, kind of want to keep writing, but I mean, obviously the first one hasn't come out yet, so I'm very excited about that. Very excited to have a group of songs out there for the world to listen to. It's obviously, you know, a big deal for me. So yeah, it's cool.
This sounds like a silly question, but how important is that debut album?
I think it's important. I think it's important for myself to remember that it's not going to be the best album that I make, and that, you know, it's all about progression and moving forward, and that I think if I spend too much time on the first album, then you've got a lot to follow up, and I think I'm super happy with, and I'm just want to keep creating and make another one and make another one, and keep being creative and not, I guess, worry too much about like, you know, whether this debut album is the hard-hitting first album equivalent to, like, whatever band has released an amazing debut album. You know, oh, we got some food. But yeah, you know, I think it's important to just kind of I guess, not compare yourself to other bands and just let your debut album be your debut album and let it be whatever it is and have fun with it, because that's what it's supposed to be. The debut album isn't, for myself at least, isn't supposed to be about being super, super like strenuous and super like focused on a concept, which I'm kind of working on with the next one, but just because I kind of feel like it at the minute. But yeah, I think it's important to not, to just enjoy yourself with it and make a bunch of songs that you like. That's all that matters to me.
And I won't keep you from your food too long.
No, it's fine.
Final question, and because
you don't have to.
Oh, no,
it's fine.
But so, what have you noticed about what you're writing now? Because well, obviously you do look at the world around you, and there's a lot going on these days.
Of course, I've kind of ended up now writing towards very much a like conceptual idea for the second album, which kind of follows a narrative. Obviously, I won't talk about it yet because it's very far in the future and things can change. But I'm kind of working towards a concept sort of storyline, which I can kind of, I guess, dip into like my own sort of like reality with it, and dip into my own sort of perspective of the world and perspective of things that are happening to myself. But at the same time, it kind of follows a narrative, so it gives it a sense of direction rather than trying to write about something that happens one day. You can put a little bit about what happened one day into this story that you're writing, which is quite cool because I feel like I find it easier to work on it that way. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of doing at the minute.
It's very interesting. Very quickly then, we don't have to get into deep about this, but do you start to notice now then a difference between Declan McKenna, just you, and Declan the artist?
I find, yeah, it's kind of strange because like I don't know, now I think about it, it's kind of weird being an artist under your own name, because it's like it doesn't feel like a project as such.
Right.
Like, I don't know, Gorillaz or whatever is very much a project of Damon Albarn, but it's not Damon Albarn. Like, and it kind of feels weird. It feels like I'm kind of can't in the same way like make myself I guess overly like focused on one thing or overly focused on one, because it's not even just like the title of one project is the title of my entire life. Right. And I kind of don't want to be too separative because it's kind of a bit of an ego death. But yeah, it's interesting kind of trying to work on your own music project and maybe separate that a little bit from your life, but also have it be under your own name. It's interesting. I mean, I kind of just started making music when I was 15 and I was like, this is my name. I didn't really think about having another name or anything, so I don't know, it's cool.
Fair enough. Thank you so much for your time.
Cool, thank you.
Once more.
Again.
Thank you.